So I've been asked to do another some more cooking videos, which is quite nice whilst I'm away, keeps my brain occupied. So although it's 5:30 in the evening, I'm going to do myself an all-day breakfast wrap. So because it's all day, it doesn't matter, does it? So I've got in the pot here, I've got 1 egg. It's a really nice, easy fucking breakfast this is. So 1 egg, a little pinch of salt, and a little bit of pepper, which I've already put in there. A little bit of salt, like that. And then give that a whisk. I'm going to make just a little omelette to start off with, just a 1 egg omelette. Just give that a whisk around, like so. So in the pan there, you want the pan fairly hot. Just got to put a little drizzle of olive oil, just enough, just to cover the bottom really. Let that warm through for a second. I'm just going to turn it up just a little smidgen. In fact, I've just turned it off. There we go, look. There you go. So we're going to get the pan fairly hot. And then, whilst that pan's getting hot, I've got just a normal plain tortilla wrap that we're going to put straight into the bowl there for in a minute. Okay, that should be hot enough. No, that's another second actually. French boys there on their motorbikes doing a bit of off-roading. So just going to put that in there. I'm just going to cook this down really quickly. Just a quick omelette, and that's going to be the base to go inside of our wraps. So once it's cooking on, you need a decent pan for this, otherwise the egg will stick. So literally just cook it now until the top of that egg is pretty much set. Alright, so another couple of minutes or another 30 seconds. Move it about a little bit, get some of that liquid, move it around, get that liquid flat. There we go. So that's almost done now. It might be a bit wet on top, but that really doesn't matter just at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're literally just going to slide that straight on top of the wrap, just like that. And we'll leave that to one side for the minute. Right, we're going to turn this down a little bit. Right, and then in that pan there, we're just going to put a little bit of diced onion. Definitely need onion in this, gives it loads of flavour. Nice and small like that. And then I've got some streaky bacon. Can't beat a bit of streaky bacon. And we're just going to add that at the same time as the onions. Should be cut quite big, it doesn't have to be too small. Alright, and that can go straight in as well. And we're going to cook that down now until the onions are nicely caramelised, the bacon's cooked nicely, and all that fat's going to come out of the bacon and cook into them onions. It's going to make it really, give it lots of different flavours. Okay, so as bacon's cooking down nicely and the onions are browning off nicely, then what we're going to do then is just add a few. I've got about 3 sliced mushrooms there. Bear in mind this is only for one person, so 3 sliced mushrooms, and we're going to cook that now. Turn it down a little bit, and we're just going to cook that nice and slowly until the mushrooms are nice and soft. But also in there as well, I want a little bit more flavouring, so I want to put a little bit of smoked paprika in there, just a little bit. Don't need any more salt because the bacon's already quite salty. Good pinch of pepper, And we're just going to cook this down now until the mushrooms are nice and cooked and those spices are cooked out a little bit. Okay, so those mushrooms are cooking down nicely now. Just turn it down a little bit more. They're softening up nicely. It's almost done now, that is. Right, so we've got our omelette there on top of our tortilla wrap, and then all I'm going to do is just put on a couple of pieces of sliced cheese. Now I like to use Liedermann's, which is a really nice cheese, or you can use Emmental or anything like that, anything which has got a high melting point, because you don't want it where it completely melted and it goes all horribly and squidgy and horrible. You want it so it's soft but still holds its own. Alright, so we've got our omelette, we've got our cheese, we've got our bacon and mushrooms and onions, so we're going to put that into there like so. Now this is where the magic happens. See, that's why it didn't matter that the omelette went cold, because we're going to reheat it again now. So in our pan we put a little touch more olive oil. Alright, don't want the pan too hot on this one though, so you turn it right the way down. Alright, and this is where you've got to cook it quite slowly. And what we want to do is we want to wrap the wrap up into a little parcel. Okay, so it looks like that, nice little parcel like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the pan, and we're going to cook it until it's nice and golden brown on one side. Just keep pressing it down so it flattens it out a little bit. And what's going to do is that cheese is going to melt and that omelette's going to reheat. So we're just going to cook that for a couple of minutes on that side, then we're going to flip it over. A little bit of bacon in there. Oh. Can't beat bacon when you're outside. Don't know why, but when bacon's cooking outside, it's so much nicer when it's cooking inside. It's like when you go to a campsite and other people around you are cooking bacon. It's a really nice smell. It's different as well. It's different to when you actually cook it inside. There is actually a reason behind it as well. I don't know what it is, but I read an article ages ago about cooking bacon outside, and it gives it a different smell to when you're cooking it inside. So anyway, what we're going to do, we want a nice little dip to go with this as well. So in our pot, we're just going to put a little bit of sriracha sauce, and then we're going to put a little bit of mayonnaise. Like that. Give that a good mix about. Magic, stop. Just give that a bit of a mix. So you've got a sriracha mayo. Beautiful. Right, and we're just going to turn this over. Doesn't matter if a little bit of the stuff comes out, but you can see it's nice and golden brown, and that cheese is melting down nicely, so it's going nice and gooey on the inside. And we're just going to leave that now for another minute or so on that side. Whoa, look at that. That is just pure and utter goodness. Maybe not healthy, but it's good. And we're just going to leave that now for another 30 seconds. We probably want it that colour as well, so it's gone nice and crispy. So, not going to be too far away. Look at that. Look, you can see. Whoa. Bacon, gooey cheese, mushrooms, the onions. Oh my god. So it's not really well, it is, I suppose it is like a breakfast wrap, but let's call it a brunch wrap. An AFD wrap, which is terminology we use in the kitchen. AFD, which means all fucking day. Right, so all we want to do now is tip this out right way around. So we're just going to flip it into the pan like that, and there we got it. Let's move that out of the way a minute. We've got our sauce, our mayonnaise and our sriracha there. We've got our nice AFD wrap. We're just going to cut that down like that and have a look at this. Oh my god, gooey bacon, salt, spice. Oh, and I'm just going to pour our sauce on the side like that. Happy days. And then just sit back with a cold beer and the sunshine and enjoy.